Mic check.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What it do, what it don't, what it is, and what it ain't. It's your boy, Don Otaku, aka Don Solo, aka Solo the Don, aka Solo D Swaggy, aka Illmatic. And this is the Hazmat Quarantine Gaming Podcast, episode 14, because we we both caught something. I'm recovering actually from last week. Had to cancel, or not last week, but this weekend had to cancel Project Untitled because I could barely talk. I was just like, yeah, definitely not gonna make it. So apologize for that, but we are back, and now it seems the bagels has caught something as well. But
Yup.
we have here Subagels, aka Subeg, aka the Green Thumb, aka the Gaming Gardener, aka the illest motherfucker alive. And last but not least, Lognet's very own and the co-host of this podcast. How you feeling, man? What you been up to?
Shit, man. I've been, outside of me catching a bug, I'm actually doing fairly well. I'm on top of my assignments. I'm on top of everything. I'm writing a lot, but I'm doing good. Y'all can probably tell by my voice that I'm pretty fucked up right now, but it's good though. It's good though. I'm here. I'm excited to be on. We're gonna have a great show today.
That's what's up. That's what I like to hear. But yeah, man. What you been playing, man?
Oh, we're jumping into it actually. So I'm gonna kind of derail this what you've been playing. I'm gonna talk a little bit about Camp Flog now. Is that cool?
For sure, for sure.
All right. Uh, so as if anyone that didn't watch last week's episode, I went to Camp Flog now this weekend. For people that don't know what Camp Flog now is, I'm not gonna be a gatekeeper. So, Tyler the Creator, if you know who that is, he's a great artist, one of the best artists of our generation. He hosts a festival or a carnival, really, in at Dodger Stadium. Well, it's only been at Dodger Stadium since 2018. I forgot where it was before that, but every November,
It was like
for
Fairfax, or not Fairfax. Yeah. I don't. I actually I saw it the other day, but now I can't remember.
yeah, I forgot where it was, but Dodger Stadium's a huge venue, so and there's so many people that go there. But dude, Camp Flogna, man, I haven't been to no concerts this whole year. Like I was kind of saving it all for Camp Flogna, and I'm so happy I did because it's just a weekend full of great music. Like all the artists that show up there, they all bring their best, and it's just an amazing feeling, like being around everyone that's like so like-minded, and like everyone's just like they're there for the music, and they're there to have good vibes, good eats too and shit. But the one thing that I wanted to talk about was like the it's such a crazy dichotomy with like music and music fans versus like video game fans, I would say, and like the creators of video games, because like the whole time when I was there, like almost every artist showed their appreciation and showed their love for Tyler, and like showed their love for each other. Like for example, Schoolboy Q, he was one of the artists that were there, and he brought out Vince Staples, and when he brought, like, after they performed their song together, they talked about how like it's all love, like it's crazy that they're all there together, and they just showed so much respect and love to each other, and it was across the board. Like when Tyler brought out Sexy Red, he said the same thing. Like he was like showing her so much love, and then when he brought out Daniel Caesar, he was like giving so much props and praise to them too. So it's just such a different feeling, you know, like considering, like, I know music fans are like, you know, they argue with each other a lot,
Yeah,
and
we do.
of course, so of all fandom is like that, but like seeing it like firsthand with like the artists that make the music, and seeing how like how much they actually care about each other, even though like they technically are competing with each other. It's just, you know, how am I trying to phrase it? It just like opened my eyes, you know, like it shows you that it's so much more than just like what we love. It's you know, it's a whole process. So, you know, I loved it. Some of my favorite artists that I've seen. I really enjoyed Earl Sweatshirt performance. You know, he raps from the bottom of his fucking heart, and you could really tell that when he's on the stage. Really liked Earl. Really like this artist named Layla. She's an up and comer, but she produces her own beats and stuff, and she made sure to tell us that too. During her performance, she's like, you know, like I made all this myself, and that stuff is like, you know, it's inspiring. So Layla, really enjoyed Omar Apollo's set. He's very talented. He's a great singer, and you know, of course, Daniel Caesar. He's also very talented. The funny thing is, like we all want Frank, right? Like everyone
Yeah,
wants Frank there,
every
but
year, bro.
yeah, everyone wants Frank. But the funny thing is, like, it's kind of like Tyler like split Frank into two artists, and he gave us like Daniel Caesar and Omar Apollo. Like that's kind of how I felt. Like it's like I can't get you Frank Ocean, but I'll give you like the next best thing. You know what I'm saying? So that was what's up. And then of course Playboy Cardi, he brought out The Weeknd, and DJ Mustard was there. He brought out Big Sean, he brought out Roddy Ricch, he brought out YG, Ty Dollar Sign, like literally some of the best artists of our generation, you know, like I don't think I've seen one performance that was like even mediocre. Like they were all good to great. So yeah, if anyone's interested in Camp Flogna, you know, I highly recommend it, because there's no weekend like it. Like the camaraderie, the love, and like the passion, it's all there. And and on top of that, it's at Dodger Stadium, you know, the World Series champs, you know, we're the winners and shit. But yeah, that's my little Camp Flogna journey. It seems like I got sick from it too, so
Yeah,
I went a little hard, but you know, great food. If you're gonna go next year, I definitely recommend getting a place called Kogi. That place is fucking amazing. But overall, though, great festival, man. I'm probably gonna go next year too, regardless of the lineup. But yeah,
yeah.
that's my vlog
I'm
now.
Now that I'm on the West Coast, I'm probably more inclined to make that trip since it's not as expensive to get there.
Yeah, man. And shit, dude, if you do end up going next year, and if you want to fly there, I always drive, because the drive is only like 5 hours. So if you end up going, man, I got you, bro. I got you with the ride. We can you know what? How about this? I'm putting this in the into the universe. We're gonna be there as performing artists one year. I'm gonna
Oh
say
shit,
that.
I don't know
We're-
about that,
Nah,
but
nah, we're gonna, bro. We'll be there as performing artists, bruh. Tyler's gonna personally invite us. I'm speaking that shit to existence.
all right, I'm gonna let that be in existence. But yeah, I definitely want to go. I'm still jelly, not gonna lie. And then the best part of this year's Camp Vlog, no Drake. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, man, it's been a dream for me to go. But
Absolutely.
funds be. I usually don't spend too much on concerts nowadays. I usually just see up and comers
Hmm.
because they have the cheapest tickets. Um, and I usually like I even my most favorite artists I just won't see when I be seeing them ticket prices. And I'm not and I have to see I have to go to the general admission. Like floor seats only. I'm not going to a concert to sit in the stands. That shit is whack. If I'm not on the floor, if I can't mosh, if I can't do like I want to have real fun. I want to be there. I don't
Yeah,
want to be in the stands. That shit is whack. So
absolutely.
I'm not gonna not gonna pay a cheaper cost just to watch from afar. So yeah, that's
Hmm.
just where I'm at. But Camp Flogna, I can justify the price of that. Just not this
Absolutely.
year because of the move and everything.
Yeah, yeah,
But once I'm settled next year, we gonna see.
for sure.
But yeah, speaking of, are you like, do you use YouTube Music or you like Spotify or something like that?
Yeah, I use Spotify.
Oh, okay.
Why though?
Did you get the Spotify Wrapped yet?
Mm-mm.
Y'all do okay? Because I just got the YouTube Music recap.
Okay.
Um, whenever Spotify does their Wrapped, we can do a little like go over both of our recaps for the year.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah,
for
that'll
sure.
be cool. That's gonna be a
Yeah.
future episode.
Okay.
But yeah, now back to gaming. What you been playing? If you got any chance to play.
Yeah, yeah. So I did bring my. The funny thing is, I did bring both my Steam Deck and my Switch out there. Um, I I really did not play my Steam Deck. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a. I don't know, man. Something about the Switch is just so convenient. It has way better battery life than the Steam Deck. It has it has all the apps with it. You get YouTube and all that. So if you need to use it, you can use YouTube. I mainly played Echoes of Wisdom when I was out there. I got through 30 dungeons, so I'm a little bit over halfway done. I would say just if you look at like the map and how much of the map I've uncovered, I'm probably around like 75% done with the game. I'm trying to, I'm trying to do as much side quests as I can. I'm trying to explore as much of the game as I can, especially now that I'm learning like way better ways of traversing through the world versus just using the bed. Because I was talking to you before the before we started. I'm using the spider a lot now. So like the spider, it lets you crawl up anything. You can crawl up walls, you can crawl up trees, you can crawl up literally anything, like, and explore the whole world with the spider. And I've been using that a lot. Um, some of the dungeons are actually really short. But the last dungeon that I just did, which was I think the sixth dungeon, it was actually kind of long. It took me like an hour and a half. But before that, a lot of the dungeons were like quick, like 30-minute dungeons. So there's that, and I am starting to see like some more flaws with the game, especially with the way that the game sorts all of your echoes. Like I wish there was like something where you can put your favorite echoes in like a different category instead of having to just go between the ones that are pre-selected.
Like a
But
custom order.
exactly. Like I wish I could customize my own order instead of like using their presets. But
Yeah.
outside of that,
Tears of the Kingdom had that issue. I actually wanted something like that in Tears of the Kingdom because once you have all of your items that you can like fuse or you can throw and you're trying to go through all of them, it becomes cumbersome to find the right one.
yeah, exactly.
Like
It's
a
it's the same.
custom
It's the
order.
same way in Echoes. Like, especially if it's something that you haven't used in a minute, you definitely got to scroll for it and find it. But outside of that though, there of course there's the performance issues. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like it definitely is pretty bad, but it's not horrible. But that is obviously something to note. But it's nice when the game does lock to a 60, especially inside the dungeons. Like it looks so smooth when it locks to a 60, but then in the overworld is usually when the game dips quite a
Yeah.
bit. But yeah, outside of that, I'm still really enjoying it. It's actually, the more I play, it's creeping up in my list. Definitely not gonna be my game of the year, which I already have my game of the year in mind. But it's up there. It's probably gonna end up making my top five. But yeah, I'm liking it a lot actually. But outside of that, not much. I played a little bit of Windblown. I'm pretty much done with like with that game. I would say like I still am playing it and stuff, but like I'm done, like as in like I've seen pretty much everything
Yeah.
that the game has to offer at this point. But and I've also played a little bit of Black Ops 6. We don't need to talk too much about that, but definitely loving the Tonto. The game is very submachine gun heavy. So usually I stick with assault rifles in Call of Duty games, but in this one it seems like the submachine guns are pretty much the meta. Um I really like the Tonto though. It has a slow fire rate, but it's really strong and it doesn't have that much recoil. But yeah, I'm enjoying Black Ops 6, man. I guess I could say that's probably gonna be my game of the year. I'm loving the game. It's fucking fantastic. Outside of the maps, which are hit and miss, the game is just so fluid. It's so much fun to play. It's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite FPSs I've ever played. One of the most fluid FPSs I've ever played. But yeah, those are the games that I've been playing.
No doubt. And as for myself, as you can see on the screen, I got to play a little Stalker 2 today. And we're gonna talk a little bit about Stalker 2, its reviews and its launch in a bit. But as far as my impression just off the beginning, and I've done the prologue and a little bit of the actual open world. So off the rip, the graphics downgrade is very apparent, very visible, very noticeable as something that was basically looked at as a showcase for next generation. When we first saw the first trailers, it is very far from that, in its current state at least. As far as how it looks, it still looks good. And I'm not gonna say it looks terrible or looks bad or anything. It's a good looking game, for sure. For the most part, the character models definitely saw the biggest hit, and especially like when you saw that trailer with the facial, like the how good the accuracy of the facial model when the villain, I'm guessing that was the villain in that trailer, was doing that monologue. And then the character models that you see now are just so they're Bethesda like, just dead faced, pan faced, like no expression at all. It's night and day from the trailers. So if you were going into this looking for the graphical showcase, the power of Unreal Engine 5. Speaking of Unreal Engine 5, hey, I'm about to roast this man, Infinite Umbra. Infinite Umbra, I'm about to roast your ass. I ain't gonna lie. Wait till I forgot what day his podcast on. I'm about to be in there. I'm about to, cause he is the biggest proponent of UE5, and he's like, yeah, everybody should be using UE5. UE5 is the greatest engine, and I'm like, bro, 80% of the UE5 releases that we've seen have been ass, outside of Hellblade 2 and Fortnite. And yeah, he was hoping for a win, but it's about to be over for him. So, but yeah, so graphically, can definitely say that it's not living up to the expectations, but I'm also not a graphics whore, and honestly, I'm not gonna knock it too much because of that. So, for the most part, at the beginning of the game, during the prologue, I had some big technical issues, and my PC was running the game at like epic settings, 1440p, 70 to 80 frames per second for the most part. But then I had this weird tech issue bug where every time I would die, the game would respawn me, and then I would be hitting 12 frames per second, 15 to like 10 to 5, 10 to 20 frames per second. It was nasty, and I'm over here like, bro, what is going on? And I was trying to fix it. I actually had recorded footage, but OBS fucked up the footage, so that would have been shown on here, but I couldn't. So I was trying to figure out, like, man, why? Like, it was running so smooth, but as soon as I die, and you can see when you respawn, every like the world kind of loads in super slow, and you see all the textures kind of pop up one by one. You like see the shrubs, then the distant stuff, and then the trees, and like everything just pops in so fucking slow, and then it's just running terribly at that moment. So then I was like, okay, let me just drop my settings and see if that helps. So I dropped settings to high, and then it was working. Okay, I'm hitting 110 frames per second. I'm okay, cool. It still looks good. I'm not tripping. I'll run it at high. Died again, and then this is a game where you will die a lot. Just off the like hour 30 minutes that I played, you're gonna die a lot. So I died again. Frames drop. I'm like, bro, what is going on? And then went to the settings, graphic settings, changed it back to epic. Boom, 80 frames per second again. I'm like, okay, this is dumb as hell. So I played like that for a bit. Then I turned off the game to go do something, turned it back on, and I have not had that issue since. So hopefully that was just like a one-off bug or something. But that's the only bug that I've run into so far, and we're gonna talk about the reviews and stuff, because bugs and glitches and performance issues was a big part of those reviews. But as far as the game itself, I am liking this game a lot so far. And they start you off in this prologue, and honestly, I don't know what's going on in the story. Not even gonna lie. You start off in a burning house, and you pick up this glowing rock, and you meet up with this scientist Herman, who has a device that's able to charge the anomaly that's the rock that you're carrying, and you have to go on to these different spots where they have this anomalous energy, and you're supposed to use the device to recharge that rock with the anomalous energy. And right off the bat, I'm not caring about this story, but hopefully that changes as time goes on. But I'm kind of just playing for the experience and the gameplay right now. So you're going through all these anomalous zones, and it's kind of introducing you to some of the things that you're just gonna. It's basically introducing you to the world of Stalker, and trying to explain basically what you're gonna be running into, the anomalies, who and what stalkers are, the mutants, like what Chernobyl is and what happened in Chernobyl, and like I guess there's a group that you're working with, and like what their objective is, and basically you get betrayed in that first prologue, and you kind of end up on a different journey than what you were expected to be doing in the prologue. But yeah, the prologue is very linear. It kind of makes it seem like you can go off the beaten path and do, and there's different there, even in that linear part of it, there are different paths that you can take and find um like better weapons and items and health and all types of stuff, just if you just look around and explore. And you can already tell exploration is a big part of this game, which they've talked about in interviews and stuff before. But the exploration, I can already tell, yeah, this is what I'm here for. I'm not here to just go from mission to mission. It's definitely in that Breath of the Wild, Elden Ring vein of you see something and you're like, what is that? Let me go check that out real quick. And then you're gonna get sucked into something completely different. So I already love that about the game. Now, for some people, the difficulty is gonna kick your ass, and it's gonna make you want to stop playing. But like an hour and 30 minutes in, I already had died like 8 times. And the first like the first big enemy I fought literally just whooped my ass. It was this mutant that could go invisible, and the only time you would see him is when he's attacking you. And basically, I was in this swamp, and I'm like looking for him. And since I'm in the swamp, you can see the footsteps splashing towards you when he's running to attack you, and you gotta like shoot towards the footsteps before he gets to you. I thought the use of the environment was amazing, because when I got out of the water, it was like impossible to see him. You kind of had to listen for the footsteps, but even then it was like really hard. So I just kept going to the swampy area so I could see them splashes, and then I would just spray and pray. But at first, yeah, he killed me like 4 times. Then I finally got his ass. But I've died in every encounter I've died at least once in every encounter that I've faced so far. My first firefight against humans, bro, they lit my ass up. I thought I was about to go in there like Call of Duty and just run in and start and then like they just said doot, doot, doot. And then I was on the ground. I was like, oh, okay, we not playing like that. So then I was hiding behind fences, hiding behind boxes, hiding behind rocks and cars, and then I had to take them out one at a time. And I was peeking around corners and shit. And then I was like, okay, this is basically how this game is gonna go. You are not gonna run and gun and think that you're gonna do something. It's just not gonna happen. So if you want that type of experience, this is not that. This is a very tactical, very hardcore shooter. And the enemies know how to aim their gun. So don't pop your head out. Don't get caught lacking. You better have cover. But yeah, gunplay feels really good, really tight so far. I've picked up a bunch of different weapons that I've tried out: pistols, submachine guns, like an AK-74 type of gun, and then what else? There was the double barrel shotgun that was really fun. I just didn't have too many bullets for it. Bullets definitely feel scarce, especially once you get into a big firefight against multiple enemies. You just feel like you're gonna you run out of ammo in one gun, you're just switching to the other ones. So best to have precise aim and aim for the head, because you do not want to lose all your bullets and then get caught by one of the mutants in the world, because you are fucked. But yeah, man, this game, the world so far just seems really unique and really fun. Oh, and then the anomalies are also really cool, because you'll just be going through the world and you'll just see this distorted area in front of you, and you have these bolts that you'll basically throw into you'll throw them into the anomaly to disperse it, because basically anything that gets caught in it basically like destroys it. But then it's like the anomaly's gone for a minute. So I accidentally walked into one. That didn't go well. I was just like, oh, what is this? And I walked into it, and then yeah, it was over for me. But yeah, you throw the bolts in so you can get past it, and then you can lure enemies into it as well, and then they'll just like that. So this game is really cool so far. I'm hoping that the day one patch fixed a lot of the issues that the reviewers had. But yeah, man, it's looking good for this game so far.
That's what's up.
All right. And then, of course, yesterday, just a back-to-back Game Pass, two big drops back-to-back, and had to try out Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. And honestly, I'm kind of disappointed with myself that I haven't really been talking about this game as much as some other games that I kept hyping up that were upcoming, because once I learned about the career mode for Flight Sim 2024, I became extremely excited about this game, because unlike Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, this game is a game. Like, they've gamified it so much since the 2020 version, and it feels closer to like the farming simulator games, or like I wouldn't say like a power wash simulator, but more like Euro Truck Sim, those type of games that very realistic, very in depth, but it has enough game to it that you don't have to just be like a flight sim nut, or a pilot in training to actually enjoy this game. As you can see, I just crashed. I'm very bad at the game, not gonna lie. So I played 2020, and it was definitely one of those try it out and like, oh yeah, that's cool. I flew over my house, crashed into it. Okay, I'm done with the game. Because there was really nothing that was enticing me to play. There was no sense of like progressing. Like, yeah, I can just learn to fly and keep getting better and cool, but there wasn't really anything that made me feel like I was getting anything out of it. Flight Sim 2024, they did the thing, bro. This game is truly amazing, because the career mode is so crazy that it it literally feels like you are learning, like you are real life learning how to fly. And then, so basically, let me just, so you start off, you create your character, and the customization options are actually pretty good. You can't like customize your face, but they have a lot of different faces to choose from. And basically you start off and they're like, okay, yeah, you just entered the pilot academy or pilot school, flight school, whatever you want to call it. And you're gonna get your PPL, your private pilot license. And to do that, you have to do these trainings. And so they take you through all of these different trainings. And you can skip those trainings and just go straight to taking the exam to get your private pilot license. But I wanted to learn, and I wanted to actually get the like actually learn how to fly and then go do the exam. So they have these instructors who were like helping you through, and they're very clearly AI voice, and they'll even say your gamer tag or whatever your name is, because that's when I knew that was AI, because he was like, "Hi, Otaku," and I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like he tried to say my name. I was like, "That's what's up." So they'll like say your name, your gamer tag, in the game, and it makes sense that they're AI voice because they talk about each plane and each airport, and like they say the names of literally everything. And I know, like, to get those voice, and there's a bunch of different like there's a bunch of different voices. Your character is also voiced, and his voice is obviously AI as well, because he, like, you literally have to announce, like, when you're taking off from the airport, when you're about to like land, and you have to like make sure that everyone knows and there's no other planes, because they'll literally tell you like, oh, the runway's full, do a circle around, because you won't be able to land. And you're like, okay. And um that part is, I actually find it pretty cool, because it, like, literally you can pick whatever airport you want to pick at the beginning of the game. And I did pick Portland's airport, and like they literally say like, oh yeah, this is the Portland blah 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 airport, and we're gonna be going to here. And then they talk about this specific plane that you're riding in, and if you pick another plane, they'll like actually go over each set of controls, because all the planes have different controls. They're like, oh yeah, this one's an analog set, and you know, you won't be able to, you have to use these dials to see, but if you have the actual digital screen, they're like, oh yeah, you can just check all of this here. And I thought that was really cool. So flight school, um that was pretty cool. And then they grade you on each challenge, and I was trying to get A's on everything. I'm just terrible. So I had to settle for B's, because the pilot test, like the solo flight test, bro, I kept getting C's on that, and it was driving me insane. I did the solo flight test like 7 times, and I finally got a B on it. I'm like, okay, I'm a very I'm very adequate flyer right now. But I literally got my PPL today. I played it last night, and I kept repeating, because I kept failing. So to get your private license, your private pilot license, you have to spend credit to take the test. Like just like in real life, you have to pay to take the exam. You have 5,000 credits, right? There's 2,000. It takes 2,000 credits to take the exam. If you fail, you have to pay another 2,000 credits to take the exam again.
Okay.
I didn't get to this point because I passed, but I was wondering if I would have failed again and I only have 1,000 credits left, but they would have been like, oh, I guess you got to pay $5 real money to get some credits to take that test. Cause I'm like, where? Cause I wasn't earning any credits. Where the fuck was I supposed to earn credits to pay for this exam? So if you have to pay real money to get credits to take the exams, that shit would be crazy. That would be hilarious. I ain't even gonna lie. But I'm hoping that wasn't the case. But that was the first thing that came to mind when I saw that. So yeah, the career mode is really fun so far, just because they take you through each part. They explain all the different parts of the cockpit and your dash and everything, and they go through like, oh, okay, when you're doing turns in an airplane, you don't want to go over 30 degrees, like when you're on your angle when you're turning, and they're like, okay, you want to maintain 75 knots when you're like ascending, and they're like, bro, but the sensitivity of the controller is so, like, it's so sensitive, it's crazy, because you have to do the most slightest like pushes on the analog, or you're just gonna like you're trying to like slowly ascend. If you accidentally you're just and then like the play is going crazy. Same with like using the triggers, like to change the rudder to move to the side, bro. You cannot. You have to barely touch that hole, and then like if you do anything, your shit gon'. So I'm like, bro, I don't know how to change the sensitivity, cause that shit is wild. I'll be trying to, like, I'm just trying to make minute. Like if anybody was in my flight, bro, they be flying around, turbulence everywhere, cause my shit jerking left and right, up, down. I'm like, bruh, I'm telling y'all, I'm not trying to do this. Honestly, this whole made me want a flight stick, and like I want the whole setup, because that I know that shit would be way more fun with the actual setup. But yeah, man, I also just did one of the discovery flights. Went to Giza to see the pyramids. And then I got to actually walk around, because that is one of the new features. You can actually get out of the plane and walk around wherever you land on the free flight. And that is really cool. Obviously, textures for most of the like rocks and shrubs and trees in the ground is pretty bad, like not the best. But that is because it's using what is it? It's photogrammetry from Bing Maps. So they're not fully rendering everything. Like from above, it looks amazing because you're 1,000 feet in the air. But then once you get down to ground level, it's not the best looking, except for like the actual landmarks. like the pyramids look really good up close, but then everything surrounding the pyramids don't really look that good. It's also cool that they have the cars from Bing Maps. Like when you the cars that were there on the Bing Maps, they're like rendered barely. Like they look like fucking PS2 wrestling cars. But it's just cool. Like, oh, this was an actual car that was there when they did the Bing Maps. It just looks ugly as fuck, but it's still cool to see that it was there. So yeah, I'm really liking this game so far. Actually, even though Stalker was out, I was still like playing Flight Sim because I wanted to get my PPO before I got on Stalker. So I ended up playing this more, or I probably would have had more time in Stalker if I wasn't addicted to playing this game. So Flight Sim, I'm probably gonna stick with that for a while. But before these two came out, while I was sick, I had some cozy games that to I was basically stuck on those all weekend while I was sick. And that actually goes right into our next topic because when you sick, sometimes you don't want to play the most hardcore games. Like you don't want to play anything too intensive because you just like, bro, like even this is just too much for me right now. And that's how I was feeling this weekend. I had the vid. I think you jinxed me before saying I had COVID the last time I had a little something, but now I actually got it.
Damn.
My girl gave it to me because she's a teacher, so it was bound to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So I caught it. It was honestly it was the least worst version of COVID that I've had. I've had it. This is my third time. But this one was light work compared to the first time.
Your body probably has all the fucking antibodies
and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really just like my throat was killing me. That was basically it. First time I had COVID, like I had the breathing issues. That shit was terrible. Like I was like, yeah, bro, this is how I'm gonna die. I can't breathe. It's over for me. Like I was panicking, bro. And then they put me on this. My doctor put me on this fucking medicine called Prednisone. That whole basically put me off of any kind of prescription medicine, like because that was the worst experience I have ever had in my life. That shit made me depressed. That shit made me like bipolar as fuck, bro. I would be good, and then, bro, I would just snap. Like I would just be in emotional, like, bro, that shit was never like. And then they told me the side effects beforehand, and I was like, oh yeah, they always say shit like that, bro. The side effects was real because I was going crazy on that shit. So fuck prescription medicine. Honestly, they got me fucked up after that. But yeah, this time it was cool. I was just tired. I had the aches, and I was just like, man, I just want to sit at my computer under my blanket and play some cozy games. So for me, that cozy game was Field of Mystria, which I've talked about before, and I finally got really into it. And usually, like Stardew Valley, Story of Seasons, those type of games are my cozy game. The farming, life sim RPGs, I just love those games. But Fields of Mystria being the latest kind of clone in that genre. I was like, I was finally getting into it on the last episode, but now I was addicted like all weekend. That is all I played. I probably let me actually look, because I swear when I like last week I probably had like 12, like last podcast I probably had like 10 hours or something in. I'm now at 30.5 hours on the game. So yeah, this weekend I put in a shit ton of hours just playing this game, and I'm really starting to like the townsfolk. I actually I'm not focusing on farming as much, because usually that is like the biggest part in these games, and usually farming is like the best source of income. But I'm honestly like not really putting too much into actual farming, and I've been mostly doing fishing and just going into the mines, which are like the dungeons, and just finding artifacts and getting or upgrading my weapons and tools and stuff. But yeah, this game is really fun so far, and I'm I'm digging the fantasy kind of. It's like fantasy modern, which is weird. Um, it's a weird setting, but they do a good job of kind of blending it. And you're basically like you're the dragonborn basically, and there's a dragon statue that's on your farm that has the spirit of a dragon that protected the town Mystria a long time ago, and it's basically telling you that like it's been asleep because the magic from the town has been drained, but you have the power to bring the magic back to the town by just doing your normal farming like all of your activities that you usually do. And you go into the mines, and I'm guessing there's like 100 and something floors. That's usually how it goes, of the mines. And the deeper you go into the mines, usually every 20 floors you'll hit a puzzle that you have to solve, and then solving that puzzle will give basically unlock a steel that releases some more of the magic to the dragon, and then he's able to do more. So he gives you a magic spell every time you unlock one of those seals. So the first spell that he gave me was Full Restore, because a lot of what you can do in a day is determined on how much stamina you have. So you can basically only do as much as you have stamina. So once your stamina runs out, and if you don't have any like recovery items, you're basically like, okay, I'm done for the day. I can't do any farming, can't do any fishing, can't go through the mines. But he gives you a magic spell that you can, as long as you have mana, you can fully restore your health and your stamina, so you can keep going. Then the second spell that he gives you is the so one of the big things about farming games is that once you build your farm to like a real farm size farm, it becomes a chore every morning to water all of your plants individually. And later down the line, you usually get like automatic sprinklers, or you upgrade your water pot so you can water a big area at one time. But early in the game, if you build a big ass farm and then you don't have all the right tools, you're basically kind of fucked, because every morning you're gonna wake up and you're gonna water all of these plants, and it's gonna take a big chunk out of your day. So they and I'm pretty sure the developers have played a shit ton of these type of games because he basically answers like he fought, or I shouldn't assume it's a he, but they basically address all of those things that can be looked at as like annoyances in the other games, because the second spell that you get is a spell that makes it rain on your farm, and you basically just, it's a rain spell. And on rainy days, though, like everyone loves rainy days because that means you don't have to water anything. Your plants are all completely watered. You can use that day to do whatever you want. All the other fun stuff. You're like, okay, I'm gonna go to the mines and I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna go fishing this whole time because they have special fish when it's raining. So now you have a spell that, okay, I have mana and I don't want to spend my time farming. Like I don't want to spend my time watering all the plants. So I'm gonna I'm just gonna hit this rain spell and I'm gonna go to the mines and do the fun stuff. So yeah, that part of this game is really cool. I love everything, all of the quality of life changes and the magic. Everything that I've seen that kind of differentiates it from Stardew Valley and Story of Seasons has really gotten me to like this game even more. So for the most part of my weekend, that's all I was playing. But in between, I was playing some Dave the Diver as well, which is another great cozy game, although it can get pretty intense and action packed as well. It does a good job of having a little bit of both. But yeah, Dave the Diver. So as far as genres for when I'm sick and I'm just wanting to, most of the time it's gonna be like visual novels for sure. Like just clicking A and reading, because it's like being curled up and reading a book, but in a video game format, I guess. But I really didn't have any visual novels that I haven't played. But farming life sims, visual novels, those are usually my two go-tos for when I'm sick. I'm just like, yeah, these will get me through that period for sure. But yeah, what about you, man? When you're sick, too sick to play Call of Duty, you're not trying to go on no big adventures in a RPG. You just want to relax and play. Like, what are your go-tos?
The funny thing is, when I'm sick, I actually really like to play with other people, because I feel like when you play with other people, it kind of like takes your mind off of it. It
Boost
helps
your
you.
energy.
Yeah, exactly. Like it helps you like maintain like a level of energy. But the funny thing is, I like when I'm sick, I actually do like playing like shooters and stuff with my homies, like COD and like Halo and stuff like that. Outside of that, definitely sports games. So easy to just pick up and play. Um, which which is also, you can also play with your homies too. But the like I was saying, like the main ones that I really like are like shooters that you can just like casually hop in matches with your homies, and you can just kind of forget and just try to play the match and just get some kills and shit. I actually have a story about this. Back in 2021, I had went to, I think that year I went to day in Vegas, which Tyler didn't do Camp Vlog. Nah, I got sick after that, and I came home, and I was hella sick, bro. I think I probably had COVID, and this was the time when both Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon 5 came out, and my boys we're like, oh shit, there's new games for us to play. I was mad sick and shit, and we ended up booting up Forza Horizon 5, and we were just fucking racing out there, just like racing against each other, doing like all the campaign missions and stuff, and like it was just so much fun, like we didn't we like I it was easy for me to not think about me feeling like absolute dog shit, especially when you're with your homies. So I'll say my cozy games are shooters. Definitely don't play no fucking ranked, because when you're when you're sick, and you're probably gonna get super agitated playing ranked. So definitely stick to the casual modes. But shooters are one of them, and racing games and sports games. Those are my little cozy titles.
Yeah, I will say I got sick around the time that Forza Motorsport 2023 came out, and I was putting a lot of hours into that when that happened. It was pretty chill. So
anything you
I
could
feel that.
anything you could just pick up and play, I feel like is good when you're sick, when you don't have to think too much. um just play with your homies. It's nothing but good vibes. You could probably throw, like, maybe it's like survival games in there, but I don't really play that many survival games. But like, probably like Grounded and stuff is probably fun with the homies.
Yeah.
When you're down bad. But yeah, nothing that requires too much mental energy. Like something that you can just play.
I will say I also was playing. I went back to Balatro while I was sick, and that was a really good.
Roguelikes, yeah, roguelikes are good for that too, because you don't, because even with Windblown, like when you die, it's not that big of a deal. Like you just die, you go back into the next run. So yeah, roguelites are good for that.
But yeah, man. Hope you feel better soon. I'm getting over mine.
No, I'm feeling actually pretty good. Drinking my tea, sipping on it. It's warming up my vocal cords and stuff.
That's because I was definitely out of there when on Saturday especially. I was like, yeah, it's not happening, bro.
It's all good. It happens.
And then I was like, should I let the guys do the podcast? And I was like, yeah, nah, I can't let them run free. That'd be chaos. Plus, I didn't have enough time to prep it for them, so it wouldn't have worked out. But yeah, man, we do have another warm up question, a big one, because Geoff Kegley, he was outside.
The Kegler.
Because, the Game Awards, always a big thing every year. And always has some kind of controversy every single year. They cannot go a single presentation that just has no kind of controversy. But I guess that's just how it is with this. So there's a couple of things. First off, before the nominations came out, a few days before, the Game Awards decided to remind, air quotes, if you're not very, very big air quotes, remind people that remakes, remasters, and expansions and DLC are eligible for every category. And I put the air quote on remind because they said, yeah, this has always been a part of the rules and it's on the website, But some people on the internet used Wayback Machine and archive sites to go back a week before this announcement. And guess what was not there on the website? The part saying that you can use DLC, like DLC was eligible for every single category. So, as usual, they lied. That's just what they do. So, that was the first bit of controversy. Saying, "Oh yeah, DLC, that's eligible for Game of the Year, expansions and DLC." Now, what would bring them? What came out that would make them want to even bring this up? And of course, the first thing that came to everyone's mind: Elden Ring, Shadow of the Earth Tree, and of course, that ended up upsetting a lot of people on Twitter and in the gaming community because Elden Ring already got its flowers. Elden Ring won everything in 2022. So why are we even and we knew as soon as they said this, we already knew that it was a nominee. Like no question, Air Tree is definitely a nominee. And of course that ended up being true because we did get the nominations, which we'll talk about in a bit. But why would you want Elden Ring to get even more, like basically take a spot from games that actually came out this year that could have used that could have been celebrated, that hadn't already got its flowers? So I'm gonna pass it to you first. How are you feeling about this change that has always been there, supposedly, expansions and DLC in the Game of the Year running?
Yeah, it's embarrassing, honestly. It's like I I could see why, every year Jeff does these things that kind of like twist the knife, that kind of like, spark controversy. And I see why he does it because, it gets people talking, right? It gets the crowd moving. But it's embarrassing
Get
though
the
because
people going.
exactly. It's embarrassing though because because DLCs aren't brand new games, and specifically with Elden Ring, the game had, like you said, like the game already got its flowers, and people still talk about it as being like the best game of the generation and shit. So it's like, really, that game doesn't need any more spotlighting. The game doesn't need any more, like, it doesn't need a bigger platform than it already has because it like sold like 25 million copies. So it's like you really don't the game doesn't need more of a platform. There are games that probably could use the platform more in better ways. But yeah, man, honestly, it's embarrassing. Shout out to Lognet because we actually have we're in our game of the year. We actually have a category for DLCs on its own. Like how it
Which
should
is,
be.
wow, what an amazing concept. Putting expansions in DLC in its own category. Like, I don't understand how hard that is.
Yeah.
For because we literally told them every year, why isn't there expansions in DLC category? And it's not like there's not, same with remakes and remasters. But we can talk about that separately. Um but why is there's an abundance of both every single year? Why is there not a category for them? But go on.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, there's usually enough DLC that comes out in a year to like to like need a category for DLC. Like this year we got the Alan Wake stuff, we got the Destiny stuff, we got the Elden Ring stuff. like there's all that. I'm probably missing a few. But like last year we had what's that game? Xenoblade had like a really big
And
DLC last year and stuff.
I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna bring that up. All right, go ahead.
But uh but yeah, no, it's just there's enough DLC that comes out in a given year to like to need a category for it. So it's just it's just another thing that Jeff's doing that twists the knife, gets us talking, gets more eyes onto the game awards and stuff. So I understand why he does it, but it's fucking stupid. It's dumb.
Yeah, I'm in the same camp as you. This is it's it doesn't make any sense. It's dumb. It's a waste of a game. Like, it's a waste of a space where we could have had a game that actually came out in 2024 that could have got the recognition it deserved, but it has to sit behind an expansion that you have to play 20 plus hours of the original game to access,
Mm-hmm.
which means it is not a game. It's an add-on to that game. Like, it's an add-on to the 2022 game. This isn't something like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed, which is a separate standalone expansion that you can basically play as its own game. And to the point, where was that game at in 2023? If this has always been the case, this expansion that got 90 plus on Metacritic and was also a 2022 Game of the Year contender. How was it that this game got 0 nominations? Not for music, not for anything like that. But somehow the expansions and Phantom Liberty was there last year, but you did not see it in the Game of the Year running, which I don't believe that game would have missed the Game of the Year conversation in 2023 if that was a rule in 2023. If that was something that was already happening in 2023, I don't think Phantom Liberty would have missed out on the Game of the Year running, because there was definitely games that I think it would have replaced easily. So that's why I don't believe that this was something that has always been a rule and everybody knew about it. But Jeff Keighley and his panel, who every time we try to go into who these panels are, and they're hiding information on the websites now, and like it his whole like criteria and the judges and all that has always been really shady.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like like every year it gets even more shady, and he's less transparent about like who the panel is, who the judges are, how much each outlet has, like how many members on each outlet's panel and whatever. So I don't know, man. I don't know. As far as remakes and remasters, I still don't think even full blown remakes should make it. But at the same time, I'm not gonna fight too much on that one. If it's like full blown, like Final Fantasy VII remake, Silent Hill 2 remake, that sort of deal. I'm not gonna fight too much, but I still think that original games, sequels, and new IP only, like those should be nominated. Remakes and remasters, no matter how much you reboots, yeah, okay, that's fine because usually it's a completely new story, same character, but they usually go way out of what the original game was. Like the Perfect Dark reboot obviously is completely different from the N64 one or the Tomb Raider reboot, things like that. So reboots, yeah. Remakes, not so much. But how do you feel about the remake and remaster situation?
Yeah, it's it's I'm it's a little bit more up in the air for me for sure, just because like remakes now can be kind of like brand new games. But still I still think that those games should have their own category too. Especially like last year, a game like Resident Evil 4 made it over like a game like Hi-Fi Rush,
Yeah, that
which was
that shouldn't have
which,
been there.
yeah, exactly. And I was mad about that, like how I am this year for Shadow of the Erdtree. Like there should be a game like Hell Divers, or there should be a game like Black Ops 6 or something like that that should make it. And that's how I felt last year. I was like, there should be a game like Hi-Fi Rush that should make it over a fucking remake, because the formula is there to make a good game. Like if they already made a good game, then the remake is obviously gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? But but yeah, I mean it is a little bit that one I could like I'm 50-50 on, cuz like I could see like a game like Silent Hill 2 like making it over like a game like Erdtree, or an expansion like Erdtree. Like I could see that game, like I could have seen that game making the list, and I wouldn't have been too upset at it because it is like, from the ground up remake type thing. But yeah, I'm 50-50 on it. I could take it or leave it. I personally would not want remakes to be there, but like I said, like a game like Final Fantasy 7 remake is pretty much like a completely different game than OG 7. So it's like, so like stuff like that I could like make an exception over. But yeah, like I said, I'm a little more 50-50 on that.
Yeah, but all right. So now let's get into the actual list. Which let me bring that up real quick, or I'll do it on my phone because I have gameplay running. So, the game of the year. Do you want to go through all the categories, or you just want to go through
We can go through like the main ones.
Okay. Obviously, we can skip like streamer shit. No one
Yeah,
cares
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
for sure.
So no one cares about esports, content creator of the year. All right. So most anticipated games: Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Monster Hunter Wild. Off the rip, I'm already gonna say like no to this list. Get Death Stranding 2 out of here. Um Ghost of Yote, sure, I guess. But Death Stranding 2 should not be on this fucking list. And the fact not a single Xbox game. No Doom the Dark Ages. I'm pretty sure Doom the Dark Ages is way more hype than fucking Death Stranding 2. And Fable, like, probably not Avowed. I don't think I think people are excited about Avowed, but not as much as a Fable or Doom: The Dark Ages. I think one of those should be on the list, but that would never happen under Jeff Keighley's watch. But am I off on this one, or you think Death Stranding 2 is that shit?
Nah. I don't. I'm not looking forward to Death Stranding 2. So, like, I'm intrigued. I'm interested in like how the game is gonna be more of a game, but I'm not really that excited for it, to be honest. Like there
Have
are
you
games that,
seen the street hyping Death Stranding 2 more than Doom: The Dark Ages?
not really, to be honest. I don't even see the streets hyping up Death Stranding over like a game like South of Midnight or something. You know what I'm saying? But but yeah, I out of those, the one that I'm most looking forward to is Monster Hunter. So I'll say that might
Let me do
win
some research real quick. I'm about to. We gonna get to the bottom. We gonna get to the bottom of this, okay?
for sure.
I'm looking at YouTube views for Doom: The Dark Ages, and
Oh,
trying
Grand
to
Theft
get.
Auto is probably gonna win this one
Oh
actually.
yeah, for sure. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is obviously gonna be the winner.
Yeah,
I will be shocked if Grand Theft Auto 6 is not the winner.
absolutely.
All right, DS2 on the beach. Oh, okay, yeah, not even close. Doom: The Dark Ages had 7.4 million on its gameplay showing on its first reveal.
Mhm.
The first reveal of Death Stranding 2 at the TGAs was 2.4 million. Or was this the one? No, the gameplay showing that we got this year, 3.3 million. So, and that's on PlayStation's. I'm gonna try to see if I can find, like, does Kojima Productions even have a YouTube?
Koji Pro, I think he does actually.
Uh, I don't think it would be bigger than the PlayStation's, but Bethesda's trailer, like on Bethesda's, they had 7.4. So, and then just to use IGN as a base, 2.2 million on IGN for Death Stranding 2, and then I'm gonna see what it is. 2.1 million on, so IGN slightly lower for Doom: The Dark Ages, but 7.4 to 3.3. That's a pretty big gap as far as their perspective trailer shits go. But yeah, I don't see the hype. I don't see people hyping up DS2 to make it most anticipated game over Doom: The Dark Ages.
Or even a game
And
like Fable or something too.
yeah, like Fable, like I can understand because there's just not enough that we've seen of Fable. Because there's still a lot of people who were like, is this actually gameplay? Is this actually how it's gonna look? Why are they only showing clips of the combat? Show like full clips of gameplay where you can see everything. Which we're gonna talk about some Fable gameplay in just in a minute, so stick around for that. But yeah, so I can understand Fable a little bit. I still think over Death Stranding 2 for sure, but yeah, there if Bethesda was still on their own and was not associated with Xbox, Doom: The Dark Ages would 100% be on the list. That's all I'm gonna say. So let's move on. Best multiplayer game: Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. I'm okay with everything on here. Except Tekken, but I'm just biased against Tekken. Best sports racing game: F124. Who cares? No one cares about that. Best sim/strategy game: Frostpunk 2, Age of Mythology Retold, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, Unicorn Overlord. I'm happy that Kunitsugami got a spot here, but I'm gonna have to give it to Unicorn Overlord. That deserves it. One of the best games I played this year, which we are gonna do a game of the or like a 2024 wrap up show. You know, in a actually timely spot to be talking about game of the year in December. So make sure y'all tune into that as well. But yeah, I don't have any problems with that one. Manor Lords was really good. Age of Mythology Retold, obviously. I mean, it's a remake. It shouldn't be here. It should be Aura History Untold there instead. But you know, we ain't gonna talk about it. Best family game: Plucky Squire, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime. We know Astrobot's gonna win that. Best fighting game: Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Multiverses, Tekken 8. Best RPG.
I said I think Tekken 8 probably is gonna win that one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is not a fighting game. I don't care what anybody says. You can say what you want. That shit is not a fighting game. That is a Dragon Ball Z game. That's all I'm gonna say it is. Best RPG: Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring Shadow of the Arid Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor Refantasio. If Elden Ring fucking DLC wasn't here, I would 100% say, oh yeah, it's a lock for Metaphor. But knowing how the industry has a fucking hard on for FromSoft and Elden Ring, that's just gonna be locked up. So shout out to fucking Kegley. Best action adventure game: Astrobot. What the fuck are you doing here? Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Astrobot. Action adventure. I don't remember Super Mario Odyssey being in the action adventure category, or Super Mario Galaxy, or Super Mario. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? This is not Ratchet and Clank. Man, I can't, bro. Best action game: Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, Warhammer 40k, Space Marines 2. Good list. No complaint. And you can just let me know if you feel like you would have replaced anything.
No, the action game one is pretty solid.
Best debut indie game: Balatro, Animal Well, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, The Plucky Squire. I'm pretty sure Balatro is gonna win this just because it's in the Game of the Year category. But honestly, I feel like Animal Well should be that should be a Game of the Year contender. Animal Well did not get as much recognition as it deserves, honestly. Then we have best indie game in general. It's Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50. Which I have UFO 50 and I have Neva, and I have not had a chance to play either yet. But they are definitely on my list.
I've never heard of this Lorelei and the Laser Eyes game.
That's by the creators of Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Okay.
That's their newest game. It was like a horror mystery kind of game. Honestly, I saw the trailers and it looked really weird, but I didn't understand what the game was. And I just wanted to go in blind because I was like, I liked Sayonara Wild Hearts, so I'm pretty sure whatever they're cooking is gonna be pretty cool. No one cares about community support, although Forza Horizon 5 in the ongoing game and the community support category is just disgustingly overlooked every single time. 40 million players, and they have updated that game to a degree that most live service games wish that they could do, and they just get no recognition because it's a racing game, and that shit pisses me off. But yeah, best ongoing game: Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2. No complaints there. Besides Forza Horizon 5 should be there. Especially actually my complaint is Destiny 2. Why the fuck is Destiny 2 there? We already know what happened with Destiny 2. And they know what happened with Destiny 2. That's why it's there.
Yep.
Games for Impact, Closer the Distance, Indica, Neva, Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Tales of Kenzera, Zao. I want Tales of Kenzera to win, just so you know them boys, so that they can just be upset when Abu Bakar comes up on stage and accepts his award. But at the same time, I also don't want them to win because they're gonna be fucking insufferable. But yeah, I don't know what Closer the Distance is, but everything else on that list is pretty expected for that category. We can skip accessibility. Best performance: Hannah Tell, Life is Strange, Double Exposure. I believe that's Max Schofield's voice actress. Brianna White, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I actually have no idea who she plays. Umberlee Gonzalez, Star Wars Outlaws. I believe that's the main character. Luke Roberts, Silent Hill 2, the main character of Silent Hill 2. And Melina Jurgens, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, who plays Senua. And honestly, if she doesn't win, this shit is rigged. Because it still boggles me that she was not a voice actress. She wasn't a mocap act. She wasn't any type of, she was just someone working at Ninja Theory.
I think she was like their community manager.
Yeah,
like
and they were like, "Hey, we wanna model the character after you," and they're like, "Hey, why don't you do some voice lines?" And she she has become like such a like she put on such a powerful performance that most voice actresses couldn't, like, trained voice actresses could not compete with. That still boggles my fucking mind that they just randomly found this god tier talent on accident. And I actually want to see what she could do outside of Senua, like in other. I know she's gonna be in Project Mara, but I want to like see if, like, I wonder if any other studios have ever hit her up, like, hey, you want to like try to do a game outside of Ninja Theory? I want to see what she could do working in other games, or like
and
at other studios, like outside of Ninja Theory.
yeah, and it's in my opinion, it's impressive, like her work in the game, because she's not only voicing Senua, but she's voicing all of the voices that she hears. So it's like,
Yes,
so
and
and
she's doing the mocap.
exactly, so it's like super impressive stuff.
So yeah, if she
But
don't win, count your days. G off.
that's hella funny. I want to say Brianna White, she voices Aerith.
Okay, no one cares.
But I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. All right.
All right, you good. Best audio design: Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2. Honestly, this should also be a shoe-in for Hellblade 2, but Silent Hill 2 does have some really good audio design, not gonna lie. I don't think it's on the level of Hellblade 2 though. Best score and music: Astrobot, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Metaphor Refantasio, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade. Bro, Metaphor Refantasio gotta win. Like, it has to win. That score, those battle musics, bro. That shit is so, like, that shit is already iconic. That's when you, like, when the music is already meme status and you just see people hyping up the music, bro, it's already iconic. You can't not put that in the game, not gonna lie. Or not in the game, but like not in, that can't win. Or damn it, what am I trying to say? That can't not win. Double negative. But yeah, man. Best art direction: Astrobot. Like, what the fuck is Astrobot doing here, bro? We back on?
Yes, sir.
All right. I just went over audio design and best score and music. But best art direction: Astrobot. Already, like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Why is Astrobot here? Black Myth Wukong, sure. Elden Ring Shadow of Eritrea, of course. Metaphor Refantasio. Honestly, I don't even think that should be there. Like, I guess art, yes. But yeah, I guess I'll give it to it. Like, the graphics are just so bad. Like, the graphical fidelity of Metaphor is bad enough that it kind of ruins the art style in a way. But like the menus and when you're actually in battle, it does look really good. So I guess I understand.
It's probably getting more of a nod just because of their like UI design and stuff.
Yeah,
so
the
I'm
UI
pretty sure.
design is fucking amazing. And
Yeah.
the fact that Atlas can just pull this off every single game and just make, like, they find a way to just level it up every time. I'm like, bro, who is this man who does the UI design, bro? He has to see his life in menus. Like, his life is just entirely in menus. So, and then Neva, obviously, same artist as Grease, which looked amazing. Neva looks amazing. I love that art style. But Astrobot, get the fuck out of here. And Kunitsugami got fucking robbed. Kunitsugami has such a unique art style, and the monster designs and the world design, everything about the art direction of that game shits on fucking Astrobot. So again, fucking whoever this mystery panel is, count your days. Best narrative: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2. Yeah. Can't complain too much about that. Trying to think if there was any narrative that I don't think I really played too many narrative driven games besides Hellblade 2 and Silent Hill 2. All right, best game direction, which is the exact same list as Game of the Year. Which begs the point, why is there a best game direction category? But sure, so I guess we can skip that and just say Game of the Year list. Astrobot, count your days. Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Air Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. There's 3 games for me that, and I'm gonna say 2 realistically, but 3 personally that I have issues with on this list. Obviously, my personal grudge against Astrobot is, I don't think it deserves to be here. I think
it doesn't.
It's an industry plant. This shit is Billie Eilish. You shouldn't be here. Except at least Billie Eilish has actually makes some good music, so I can't get too. Let's see, who's a real industry plant? What's that motherfucker, Jake? No. There's what is that dude that he just has, I forgot his name. It's not Jake.
Oh,
but it's
I know
something
exactly
like that.
what you're talking about. It's like JV, something like that.
No. Well, him too for sure. But it's a white rapper, and he just has like a single, just regular ass name. It might be Jake. I have no idea. But yeah, industry plants. Astrobot is an industry plant, bro. Like, I don't care what nobody say. That shit is the biggest industry plant in the world.
It is, bro. It is.
And
go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say because if the game didn't have so much like nostalgia and like if it wasn't tied to the PlayStation brand, no one would give a fuck about it. Honestly.
But you know, on paper, you can see, oh, it's a 94 Metacritic. Cool. Okay. I understand why you're here. And obviously, we already talked about Shadow of the Air Tree. I don't think this should be here. It's taking up a spot for a game that actually came out in 2024 and deserves this spot. But one that I have a problem with, because it actually confuses me that it's here in the Game of the Year category when you look at every other game on the list, and that is Black Myth Wukong. Now, why do I have an issue with Black Myth Wukong? because this game is not, it has never been looked at as a game of the year contender. Which is why I'm like, how did this get here? Or I should say, it was a game of the year contender until it came out. And you can see the reviews. It's at an 81. 81. You look at the reviews of every other game on this list. Balatro 90. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was 92, I think. Silent Hill's not a one of them. Astrobot 94. Shadow of the Era Tree 93, 94, something like that. Metaphor Refantasio 92, 93. Black Myth Wukong 81. So the judges for the Game of the Year awards are they're the same reviewers who review these games, right? They're the IGNs, the GameSpots, the PC gamers. So how does a game that was an 81 when you reviewed it make it into the Game of the Year category? Like, how does it make it there? Because there was a lot of talks about how the game design was not the best. It has very good boss fights and combat, but it was lacking in terms of its game design, it being basically a boss rush, as a lot of people call it. So there are other games that have hit high 80s, 90s that I think deserve spot over this. Dragon's Dogma 2 being a big one that comes to mind. I was just thinking about this game. And since we are counting remakes, how did Silent Hill 2 remake not make it in over this? Even something like, and then obviously the ones that would never even be considered by the panel, Helldivers 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, because they're predominantly multiplayer games, and we know multiplayer games, outside of that one time that Overwatch won Game of the Year, are not even considered video games in their eyes when it comes to Game of the Year. Same with how Forza Horizon 5 got snubbed because, it's a racing game. It's not a real game. This isn't something, this 92 on Metacritic means nothing. I think it was the only game in 2021 that hit 90s. And that wasn't in consideration because, it's just a racing game. And that is my biggest problem with the Game Awards and their nominations, is that you have to hit a certain genre. You have to be in a certain genre to even be in consideration. Unless you're the token indie, like Balatro, like let's see, last year, I think they didn't even have an indie last year. I can't remember. 2022.
I don't think they did.
2022.
Wait,
I can't
hold on.
Oh,
No.
Stray.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the year that Stray came out.
God, fucking piece of shit game. Over Vampire Survivors. Get out of here. 2021. It was. I mean, you can say it was It Takes Two, but is It Takes Two really an indie game? But yeah, they usually have the token indie, like Hades in 2020, which should have won, but we know Last of Us had to win because that's their MO. But yeah, Balatro being a card deck building roguelike, that that's the outlier. The indies can basically be whatever it wants. Honestly, actually, I won't even say that because this is the first time we've gotten something of outside the box when it comes to, because Hades at the end of the day, story driven roguelike action game that fits what that fits the mold that warrants a game of the year. Stray narrative, like narrative based, um
Walking simulator type.
walking simulator. That's just, yeah, that's perfect for game of the year bait. Um, it takes two, action platformer, uh, genre defying. So third person, they love their third person. So that just makes sense. So Blatro kind of actually goes in the face of that, but for the most part, there are categories, there are genres that you will never see in the game of the year running. No matter how good they are in their genre, they aren't up for consideration. Racing games, sports games, first person shooters that aren't like story driven open world RPG like style games, they don't exist to them. And that's the part that just doesn't make any sense, because Black Myth Wukong is it like, it isn't the top of its genre, but it
close.
makes it in because it's in a genre that they like more than multiplayer FPS or a third person shooter action game like Helldivers 2. So that's what I don't like about like the Xbox bias. That's a, you know, there's really nothing that we can prove that with, even though it's kind of there, but we're not gonna talk about it. We can overlook that, but the genre bias is the real problem, especially like in an RTS game or something. Like you will never see like an Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, Aura History Untold, Frostpunk. You will never see that style of game in the running. If Civilization 6 comes out and it just redefines the genre and they're just at the top of the 4X strategy genre, that's not gonna make it into the game of the year category, because it's in a lesser genre. And that's the thing, there should be no such thing as a lesser genre. But that's really my biggest issue with the nominations, because this game is not a game of the year worthy title, and somehow it's here because of genre bias in the industry. And it's really any, like, you see it in every award. You won't see like a raunchy comedy make it at the Oscars in the like picture of the year, because who's gonna pick that over like the 25th like Oscar bait, oh, dying person, emotional, sad drama Like, those are the ones that are gonna win the Oscar. In music, you're not gonna see. We don't have rap albums win album of the year. You don't. You won't see, like, even like uh let's say like a classical music. You're never gonna see that win album of the year in today's age. You're not gonna see like metal, like hardcore heavy metal win album of the year. That's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And every single award show has a bias towards certain genres, which I don't think it should ever be that way. But every single time you see the same few types of games, same few types of albums, same few types of movies win every single time. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think going forward, people should tune into other people's Game of the Year stuff. I just wish that there was a bigger platform for other outlets. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate the fact that this is the one that everyone watches and stuff. Which is funny because the awards are secondary and tertiary to the announcements. So it's I
was just gonna say. I mean, we're really not there for the awards. We're there for the majority of people are there for the announcement. And the awards are just the secondhand smoke that we get. Because at the end of the day, there are better award shows out there. I like Golden Joystick. Pause. I like I like the Golden Joystick Awards. I like DICE Awards because at least DICE Awards are decided by actual developers.
Yeah.
And they actually have a mandate to play all of the games that are listed, which the Game Awards does not have a mandate like that because it becomes a popularity contest of, I've played this, and this, but I don't play these genres, so that doesn't matter to me.
Mm-hmm. And with the DICE ones and the joystick one, aren't those in early following year? Like they do those like early on after the year, right?
I think DICE does for sure.
Okay.
I don't know about Golden Joystick. I think they do it like around the same time. But yeah, DICE, they actually get every single game that came out that year. Yeah. Unlike the Game Awards. And that leads me to one other controversy. Do you know what the cutoff date for the nominations is for the Game Awards?
Yeah, I think it's November 22nd.
November 22nd. As of recording, it is November 20th. When you watch this episode, it'll be November 21st. And yet, we have all of the nominations for Game of the Year. All of the nominations are already put in.
Yep.
As of the 17th or 18th, I think. But the cutoff date for a game to release and get nominated is the 22nd. Somebody explain this math to me. Because I am not understanding how do you have a cutoff date on the 22nd and already announced all the nominees on the 17th? So what is the cutoff date even for at that point? Because this was also how Forza Horizon 5 got cut out of its nominations, and there was one game that came out after the cutoff date, but somehow still got nominated. Y'all know what game that is? Because I remember what game that is. It was Death Stranding. Death Stranding released after the cutoff date, but was nominated for everything. How the fuck did that happen? I'll tell you how it happened. It's because Kojima. So when it's a studio that Jeff Keighley and his shadow panel that backs him, that he keeps on having to say, and I had nothing to do with the votes. I didn't vote for, it had nothing to do with me. So I'm trying to figure out how did he get these, like, how did Death Stranding make it? But everything else, Stalker 2 obviously didn't review as well as people thought. But what if Stalker 2 was this 90 plus game, came out today, cutoff date is the 22nd, but the nominees are already in. So what would have happened then? Just I guess you're gonna be listed for next year, bro. But I don't even think it would be listed for next year, because they would say, "Oh, you were before the cutoff date. You just didn't get nominated because." So that shit just doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, did you see the clarification that a game doesn't even have to release this year for it to be nominated for Game of the Year? If someone wants to nominate, if that game had enough changes done to it, it can be nominated for Game of the Year. So I'm trying to think of a good example.
Like Cyberpunk?
Yeah, basically like Cyberpunk fails in 2020, but then in 2022 it has that big update. It could have been nominated in 2022, and in 2023 they did some more big updates. They could have been nominated in 2023 as well.
That's fucking stupid.
And this is our the people heading the biggest game award show in gaming, the one that's supposed to be our Oscars, and this is why people talk shit about this Game Awards, and there's always controversy because they make some of the dumbest decisions you could ever make. And if anything, Forza Horizon 5 should be nominated every year. Where is it at? Count your days.
Yeah, with how much they've updated that game and shit too. Like
Sea of Thieves should have been there 2020, 2021, 2023. Like, count your days.
That year, Pentiment should have been there probably for Game of the Year. But I think actually that one came out after the cutoff date potentially.
I don't remember with that one.
That one came out November 15th, so no, not before the cutoff date.
I mean, it would have been like 3 days before they announced it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is what it is. I don't care about the award show anymore, especially after last year's. That was, yeah. With the wrap it up and all that shit, it's really just an announcement show at the end. Like, that's basically what we're there for. Yeah, because obviously they're not doing the awards for us, the gamers. They're doing it for the developers to boost their, like, to get their ad revenue, put the developers that they like into the category so that they can get their little sales boost. Although I'm happy seeing that Balatro got a pretty big boost and a lot of people talking about it. And those are the games that need to be celebrated more, honestly, like the indies. Like I wish Animal Will would have got the game of the year nod, because that game deserves way more recognition than fucking Shadow of the Air Tree.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree with you. Even like I haven't played it, or even like a game like Never or something like that. Like there's so much like artistry and thought and stuff and like love and passion poured into indie games that they should get more of the spotlight for sure. Regarding Balatro, I actually picked up the game on Switch, so I have it, but and yeah, seeing it nominated made me more inclined to like check it out. So for sure, definitely put a spotlight on Balatro. Absolutely.
Blatchero is top 3 on that list for me. So everyone should check out Blatchero. It's literally a game anyone could pick up. Like I actually want to get my mom to try it out since it is on mobile now.
Yeah.
I think she would give it a try. I know my mom would like something like that. But yeah, anything else you want to bring up in terms of the game awards?
The only thing that I will say is that, like, unlike last year, I don't think that there, well, outside of Erdtree potentially, but I don't think that there is like this is gonna win, like with Baldur's Gate. Like how like I when I seen Baldur's Gate nominated for all the stuff, I was like, yeah, that's probably gonna win it. But this year, I would say it's more of a toss up. I could see Astrobot winning it, or I could see Rebirth winning it.
God, if Astrobot win,
If Astrobot wins, who's gonna be on the timelines throwing parades?
Bro, hey, I might have to kill him. I ain't gonna lie. I might just have to kill him, because if I know he gon' be in my DMs acting crazy. I might have to, Flame, I love you. I might have to catch your body. Not gonna lie, because I can't. I'm not gonna be able to accept it if that happens.
Yeah, I don't want it to happen just because I have played the game and I think like the first two worlds are actually quite bland and boring. Like I didn't start actually enjoying it until I got to the third world. So it's like that's like damn near half of the game, which I thought was just kind of bland and boring. But like I said, like I could see it winning it. I could see Rebirth winning it. I could see Metaphor winning it. So I would say the winner is not as clear cut as last year.
I want Metaphor to win.
I want it to win too, to be honest.
But yeah, I will say that I'm gonna pick up Black Myth Wukong just because I've been talking a lot of shit about it, but I haven't actually played it, and I'm more talking about it in the sense of Metacritic and what reviewers have said about it, to it being a Game of the Year contender. But I'll give it a try for myself before we do our Game of the Year discussions and our Game of the Year prediction, like the winner predictions. So yeah, let's move on to our news. So, oh wait. Xbox Cloud for owned games is officially here, and we have 50 games that have made the list for what is going to be able to be streamed without being on Game Pass. Just you are now able to stream these games if you have Game Pass Ultimate, even if they are not in Game Pass. And there was, let me go on the Xbox Wire website. So the 50 games are Animal Well, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Balatro, Baldur's Gate 3, Banishers Ghost of New Eden, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the 2022 version, Casting of Frank Stone, Cyberpunk 2077, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, which that is going to be a big one for cloud gaming. Dying Light 2 Stay Human, Farming Simulator 25, Fear the Spotlight, Final Fantasy 14 Online, that's also a pretty big one. Final Fantasy 1 through 6, Hades, Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, High on Life, Hitman World of Assassination, Hogwarts Legacy, House Flipper 2, Kena Bridge of Spirits, Lego Harry Potter Collection, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Metro Exodus, Mortal Kombat 1, NBA 2K25, PGA Tour 2K23, Phasmophobia, Prince of Persia The Lost Crown, Rust Console Edition, 7 Days to Die, Star Wars Outlaws, Stray, The Crew Motorfest, The Outlast Trials, The Plucky Squire, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Tom Clancy's The Division 2, Topspin 2K25, Undertale, Visions of Mana, Warhammer, Space Marine 2, and WWE 2K24. Now, this is available now on PC, phone, tablet, handheld, and basically any device that can access a web browser through xbox.com/play. But this is not available on console and PC until 2025, which I thought was pretty weird. Or like the PC Xbox app. You can do it through xbox.com/play, but not through the cloud streaming in the Xbox app on PC. And you can do it through the Xbox itself. Which I guess makes sense because you have the game on your Xbox already. So I guess that wasn't a priority. I guess same with but PC, I mean you can do it through the browser, so I guess that's not a priority. But yeah, it's finally here. It's a lot less games than I thought it was gonna be. But how are you feeling about this? I know you said that you don't really cloud game, but yeah, man, it's here.
Yeah. I don't cloud game at all. I usually stick to downloading my stuff, playing it natively. But no, that's cool though. That's cool. I'm assuming that they'll just continue to add more and more games as time goes on. So that list should be a little bit bigger as time goes on.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a lot less. I thought it would be like 250. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's so little. Because I was expecting every game that has been in Game Pass that has been taken off of, like that was in cloud when it was in Game Pass, but then it got taken off of Game Pass. I thought those games would be a shoe-in because they already had cloud versions before. So I thought those were like every single one of those would be added. Like GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, all of that would be there. It's not there. So that one's weird to me already. But maybe it's server related and they have to kind of slowly build it in. But yeah, I'm just happy that they finally delivered on the promise at least. Not in the best way, but at least they can say that they've at least started the journey on something that they've been promising for years, like years, like 4+ years. They've been saying that this was going to be a thing. So I'm just happy to see it. But yeah, did anything else you want to add or?
I actually might end up getting like what's it called? What's the one for iPhone? Not it's like one of those attachment controllers.
Oh,
where you can
Backbone.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about getting one just because they're hella cheap now, just so I can have like another option. But it's just I could try it out and stuff. But It's cool though. You know, it's adding value to the ecosystem, and
Yeah.
that's good.
If I one game I would definitely like, it's really just if I didn't have the Switch, I would be more inclined to play more cloud games, because something like Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, that's something I'm gonna want to play portably. If it wasn't on the Switch, I would definitely get it on Xbox and just play it through the cloud exclusively. But games like a Dragon, I played almost exclusively through the cloud, because it just works so well with turn-based games, and I just prefer playing turn-based games in handheld. So yeah, if I would have got Metaphor on Xbox, I probably would be playing through the cloud a lot. So yeah, I use cloud every now and then when there's just a game that just really fits well with handheld. But if I have a Switch version that actually plays decently, I'm 9 times out of 10 just gonna go with the Switch version.
Absolutely.
All right, but that was that. Now let's get into some of the bigger news. So, the legendary gaming insider, or really mostly Xbox insider, Corden, on the wonderful Xbox 2 podcast, the second best Xbox podcast behind Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast, because you already noticed the Xbox. Now I'm just playing. But
behind ILP.
you know,
No, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
the two best Xbox podcasts, Xbox 2 and Iron Lords podcast. But Jez Corden on Xbox 2 dropped a bombshell, unprovoked, by the way, because, you know, Rand was just talking about how excited he was for Fable. And then out of nowhere, Jez is just like, all right, I played it. I mean, no, he didn't say he played it. He said, I saw Fable. I saw gameplay for Fable. Because obviously he's terrible at he's terrible at keeping secrets, obviously, from all the leaks that we've seen. The fact that he wasn't even pressed into like, he wasn't even pressed into revealing the information, because usually Rand will kind of like footsie around the topic to see if he'll like spill the beans about it, and then the chat will usually like join in trying to make him. He didn't even wait for any of that. He just said, all right, I saw Fable gameplay. So yeah, we're actually gonna listen to the clip from the podcast, because it is a lot of information, and I don't want to miss any tidbits since it's not really written. So, one moment.
Right, where it's just like,
fuck it, I saw it.
Are you gonna literally say it? You told me not to say
Fuck
this.
it, I saw it. Yeah, I fucking saw it. I saw
Okay,
Fable.
you saw Fable? Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw gameplay of Fable.
Okay, and how did it look? You know, it's funny because I was talking about like why. Well, you're the one who said not to mention that you saw it, and here you are saying that you saw it. So how did it look?
Okay, so I very recently saw some alpha gameplay footage from Fable. I have no idea when it was from. I don't know if it was earlier in development. I don't know if it was recent. I don't know if it's something they're going to show off soon, but it looked fucking fantastic, man. It looked fucking fantastic. Okay, so you can tell that this game has CD Projekt Red DNA. So the developers Playground Games, they picked up a bunch of developers for CD Projekt Red, and I believe they picked up the combat designer. And you can kind of tell, you know. I'm not saying it's 100% one-to-one with Witcher, because it's not, right? But you can kind of tell that melee combat, the sort of the pirouettes and the dodging and the dodge rolling and the seamless, like, you know, hack and slash into an execution, which looks really, really cool. All that stuff is there. Like, it looks super polished. It looks super good. And if this was early gameplay, then like it probably looks even better now than from what I was shown. You know, and beyond that, you know, there was also there was a lot of mixing, like, again, like a bit like Geralt, and again, it's not one-to-one with Geralt, so don't think that. But there was also like mixing in of different weapon types. So there was like pulling out a bow and arrow, and also like you know, dropping spells. I saw a spell that was like lifting up a group of dudes off the ground and slamming them, like almost like
I think there was a spell like that briefly in the last trailer. He's like lifted something up and then she slammed it down. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I also saw some enemies. I saw like a giant chicken, for example.
Of course, gotta have chicken in Fable.
Yeah, giant chicken. So like, I kind of thought like, you know, cockatrice kind of thing, but it actually it looked like a chicken. You know, that sort of comedic angle, but also not. Like, it looked like a dangerous, fucking scary chicken, dude. So and also I saw a werewolf. There was a scene where they lure a werewolf with bacon and eggs and sausages in a saucepan. I was gonna say chips, but they basically cook a werewolf a full English breakfast to lure it out of its lair. Is kind of the impression that I got there. But yeah, it looked really great, man. The combat looked really tight. I also saw a variety of weapons. I saw a big mallet thing, which was, you know, was being used to swing around, hit multiple enemies at once. It looked super good, super tight, and my hype level went up a lot from seeing that stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm so bullish on Fable now, and I think like this is gonna be. I'm hoping if like the brief flicker of pre-alpha gameplay slice that I saw, and you know, it kind of reminds me of you know, when I saw Fable Avowed really early, you know, and I was kind of like, you know, there's something here, you know, it looks really good. It's different with Fable. Like, you can see the polish already. You can see like the expertise and the, you know, the animation quality and the acting quality, and it just sort of feels like those AAA core story-driven action games that have eluded Microsoft up to this point. So I'm letting my imagination run wild here a little bit, because obviously I only saw a tiny little bit, but yeah, from what I did see, it left a very strong positive impression on me. So I would hope that in that case, the fact that, you know, this kind of stuff is starting to sort of percolate through some communities now that do share, you know, internal stuff, that it might indicate that we're going to get a trailer or a direct or something in that vein in the near term, maybe. But it's hard to say, you know. I have no idea where the gameplay's from. I have no idea when it's from. I have no idea what the original source is even. But it was just clearly that it's a step up from anything we saw previously. So I'm hyped, man.
Same character, or did you notice like it was maybe a created character?
It was the same character that everyone's seen.
Yeah.
But I have heard that you will at least. I heard this. I was told this at an event. I think I was told this at Summer Game Fest, that you will be able to select a character, maybe, like a male or female. So we haven't seen the male model yet. So maybe if they did do a direct, they'd be like, okay, and here's the male actor, you know. But yeah, it was the same character that people have seen already. But it looked really good, man. I'm not gonna share the footage or anything because it's way too early. And I think it'd be better if you know. I remember when people complain like, "Oh, this game looks bad," because they're watching it on a low bitrate YouTube stream. It's better when you'll see the trailer in 4K. So I'm not gonna share that bit. But you know, look out for the giant chicken and all the shit that I talked about.
Brisket in the super chat says Fable delayed to 2026.
All right, so I'm actually just gonna leave it there at there was still a little bit more, but VGT Gaming News did do a good roundup of the of what he kind of talked about, just to put more what he said into more bullet points. So, Just Corden has recently saw alpha footage of Fable, and it looks, quote, fucking fantastic. Playground Games has hired CDPR devs, including a combat designer. The gameplay features polished melee combat with influences from CD Projekt Red. Example, The Witcher. Fluid dodging, pirouettes, and executions, mixing different weapon types, bows, and spells. A notable spell involves lifting and slamming enemies, which that gameplay did. The gameplay trailer from E3 did show the lifting of the enemies, but not the slamming down part. She started shooting the bow at them while they were in the air. Enemies highlights include a giant chicken and a scene with a werewolf being lured with a full English breakfast. Weapons and combat. Combat is tight with the use of heavy weapons like a mallet to hit multiple enemies at once. Swordplay, including parries and executions, visuals, and polish. The game shows early signs of polish with high quality animation and acting, suggesting a AAA level experience, which you can see from the gameplay trailers. Character customization. There may be options for male or female characters, but has been yet to be revealed. And Jez hopes a new trailer or direct may be coming soon, as the footage is starting to circulate within the community. So, Fable being one of the most anticipated Xbox games of this generation, basically since it was basically announced with barely it was basically just like a title card when it was announced in 2020. So how are we feeling after hearing Jez's impression of the leaked gameplay?
Yeah, I think that this might be what they will show at the Direct next year. This potentially could be what
I would
they
hope
show.
at least.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's exciting, man. Especially hearing the because he said The Witcher, right? He said it's most akin to The Witcher, and I think that that's a good target for them to shoot, especially it being like a fantasy action game. The only thing that I kind of have a little bit of pause with is just seeing how what's it called, just seeing when this footage was showcased. Is it for of a current build? Is it of a earlier build? Is it
he couldn't tell, or
Yeah.
he had no information of when the build was. He just said that it was pretty polished,
Mhm.
or it looked pretty polished.
Yeah. But this is exciting, man. I'm hyped for Fable, dude. I'm really curious to see how Playground does it, because they're not on Unreal Engine. They're using their own tech. So
Forza
that
tech.
stuff, exactly. They're using the Forza tech. So that's exciting, seeing how they just make an RPG, and seeing how it performs and all that. It's exciting, dude. I was already hyped for this game, so hearing him say that it's looking good, or what did he say, fucking fantastic or something
Yeah.
like that. Hearing him say that's it's nice to hear. Now it's just up to Xbox to showcase the game, really.
Yeah, man. Look, if Fable hits, Playground Games automatically goes up to the top Xbox studio. Not even close. Forza Horizon, every single Forza Horizon since 2 has been an A+ experience. And then if they switch to an open world AAA RPG and then hit with that as well, yeah, they're not only top Xbox studio, but they're a top studio in the industry, period. And man, Fable, that's what, like, Halo definitely brought me into Xbox, but Fable is the one that solidified my love for Xbox. And man, like, after hearing Jez talk about this game, bro, count your fucking days, Playground Games. You got me fucked up. Y'all thought I was about to be hyped for this? Did y'all hear good news in it? I ain't hear any good news. All I heard was bad news. You know why? Because when I hear fucking, oh yeah, it has influences from The Witcher. The fucking Witcher. Some of the worst action RPG gameplay out there. You gonna choose Witcher 3 as your base? Fuck CDPR. Hey, like, y'all got me so fucked up. I hate The Witcher 3. I fucking hate The Witcher 3's gameplay. It is some of the worst out there. That slow ass period that he, like, that shit pisses me off. And the fact that he even brought up the little period or whatever the fuck that shit's called, I'm like, no, that sounds horrible. That's the exact opposite of where I want Fable to go. I want Fable to be more like Dragon Age Veilguard, not fucking Witcher 3. So everything he said about the combat, I was already like, no, that sounds horrible. And Fable, from the first gameplay that we saw in 2023, has always been, it's been in a weird place for me because it doesn't feel like the first 2023 trailer actually didn't do anything for me. The whole, that scripted, like the scripted fight with the giant, that just reminded me of that PlayStation set piece bullshit kind of gameplay where you're not really in control. Like, her jumping from table to table kind of just looked like a tap A right here, and then it'll do a scripted jump for you. Like, everything about that trailer, I was like, this is not what I want from Fable. And then the second trailer kind of got me back on board a little bit. I'm like, okay, they're not showing enough gameplay. They're showing little clips, but you know, the humor, I'm like, okay, the humor's there. The Wolverines are back. I love seeing the Wolverine. The big ass tree monster from Fable is there too. Like, okay, cool. They're bringing enemies from the original, but things that I'm still up in the air about are like staples of Fable, where I'm like, where are the morality like, you don't, I feel like that would be one of the first things that you showcase in Fable is morality choices, or at least alluding to the fact that you can make morality choices. So far I've been like hit or miss. I'm like, this is definitely a beautiful looking game. This is definitely a game that Xbox fans have been asking for. The hashtag just one style of game. But I need that. I need it to feel like Fable. And I want the gameplay to be, I want the combat to be fun and great, not just a means to an end, like The Witcher. I don't want.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you play The Witcher 3 when they like remastered it on the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series?
Nope.
No? Okay. So I know in those versions there is kind of like they did change the combat a little bit to make it a little bit more accessible, and they also made it so it's a little bit more fluid, so you're not always going into like what's like your skill tree and like picking out shit. Like you can like have like hotkeys for it almost. So the newer version of The Witcher 3 does have a little bit better combat than the OG one, but even outside of that, I could see what you're saying though. Like the combat isn't the strong point in The Witcher 3. So it's like I would say the strong point for those games, or for that game specifically, is definitely the story and the world and the exploration
and the
quest
dialogue and all
exactly.
that. Which, you know me, that's not gonna pull the weight when I have to sit through dog shit gameplay to get to the next cutscene. So I've always had this grudge against The Witcher. And also my other grudge is that the game launched broken, just like Cyberpunk, but everybody overlooked it. So yeah, those 2-minute load times after you die on the Xbox One, I will never forget that. I wasted $60. I wasted $60 on that bullshit ass game. And I chose it over something that I was just more excited about, but then I saw that 97 meta. I was like, ooh, I gotta get this instead. Wasted my fucking money. Count your days, CDP. And I've been biased against CDPR ever since.
What was that game?
Huh?
What was the other game?
I actually don't remember.
Was it that same year that Mad Max came out, or am I tripping?
Let me see. When did The Witcher 3 come out?
I think it came out in 2015.
Yeah, it was 2015. I was trying to see what month. May. Okay, so let's see. What games came out May 2015? Game releases.
Was it Bloodborne?
Bloodborne.
Wait,
Hell
no, that came out 2014, right? Or am I tripping?
All right, I'm going through. So let's see, April.
Was it Splatoon?
Nah, I definitely got Splatoon. All right, I'm going through. Let's see, May. What games came out?
Arkham Knight?
Was it Arkham Knight?
Oh, Arkham Knight came out in June.
I don't know. I don't see anything that sticks out. It might have been that I ended up having to buy, like, I had to buy Splatoon because I was saved. I probably had the money saved for Splatoon, and then I ended up getting The Witcher, and then I ended up having to save up more money when I should have just spent that money on Splatoon. That sounds like something that probably happened.
For sure.
And Splatoon was a 10 times better game. Worked flawlessly at launch. 60 FPS with no drops. Count your days. So yeah. I don't want to hear combat and Witcher 3 influence in the same sentence, if they would have said, "Oh yeah, the quest design is inspired by Witcher," cool. That's something I can definitely say The Witcher does better than most games. But yeah, don't fucking tell me that. Oh yeah, the combat is a lot like The Witcher 3. That's just gonna turn me off. But I want to see real gameplay for Fable. I want to see that full on sequence of gameplay, like the walking around, the accepting quests, going through the open world to fight enemies, like everything. I want to see all of it. And I'm hoping that this is at the January Direct. We see some Fable at the Dev Direct. But I think we might get a little gameplay trailer at the Game Awards. I'm actually gonna call that out right now. Okay. I think we're gonna see Fable at the Game Awards. That's gonna be the Xbox present, because I don't think they really have anything to announce. Like Blade, that was obviously a big surprise last year. I don't think they're gonna pull anything like that out. I think we're gonna see Fable gameplay at the Game Awards, and then it's gonna say, and then Jeff Keighley's gonna come on stage and say, "Oh, I heard you got another announcement," and it's gonna say for PS5. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Phil, don't you fucking do that. Don't even. I'm sorry I even said that. But yeah, Fable, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good. And if it's not good for me, I'm sure the people who like those styles of games, it'll be good for them. Yeah. Anything you wanted to add?
No, I'm excited for it regardless. I don't think see, it's been a while since I played Witcher 3, but I don't think Witcher had like ranged combat. I don't remember though.
I mean, spells.
Yeah, like outside of spells, I'm talking about like a bow and arrow or something like that. I don't think The Witcher had that. So
I can't remember having it.
I don't think it did. So I think that's something that can like distinguish itself from The Witcher. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I really like the really
I wonder if
short.
guns will come back, because like Fable 2 and 3 had guns.
Mm-hmm.
I love the guns in those games.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. But yeah, no, I'm excited, dude. This game is super intriguing. Just because the little bit that they've shows that like the gameplay has a lot of impact. Like I remember very distinctly that clip of the girl throwing the fireball. And I liked
and
how
like a fastball, like a baseball pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Like I really like
the animations for sure. You can say, like, even her using the spell where she lifts everyone up, you can just see everyone just like, and her like picking up the sword from the blade and hitting the person with the hilt of the sword. Yeah, animations for sure on point. They're definitely flexing with the animations. I just want to see how that translates in moment to moment combat.
Absolutely.
But I'm guessing those are more the executions. Since Jez did mention that those were like executions that he saw. All right. Now for our last piece of news. Sony is outside. So we talked about acquisition season, and obviously first thing we brought up was Xbox, because they have been known to be the biggest they've been known to be the biggest splashers when it comes to the acquisitions. They've been going on a spree for the last 6 years since 2018 when we got the first batch of studios that made up Xbox Game Studios, and then 2020 Bethesda, and 2022 the announcement of ABK. So they've been definitely flexing their bank account when it comes to the acquisition game, but Sony has been keeping, or I shouldn't say keeping up, but they've been making some strides when it comes. You know, they got Bungie, and we know Bungie was such an amazing purchase for them. They did so many things with Bungie. And then, you know, Firewalk Studios ended up being one of the greatest developers in the industry. So great they had to close them down after one game, but it was just because they were just too good at the game. You know, Neon Koi and Fire Sprite and Haven Studios, you know, yeah. But Sony said, we've been fucking up, but we can make one purchase that can make up for all that bullshit that we bought the last 2-3 years. And that is Kadokawa. And if you don't know who Kadokawa is, they are a major light novel, manga, and anime publisher. And you're like, oh, well, what do they have to do with gaming? What does that have to do with PlayStation? They are also the parent company of the about to be 2-time Game of the Year winner, the developer of Elden Ring, From Software. And that in and of itself is going to be huge if PlayStation is able to acquire them. So, to pull up, let's see. Let me pull that up. So, we got the rumor, or I guess not a rumor, but the report that Sony has sent out a letter of intent to acquire Kadokawa, From Software's parent company, which blew up on the internet. But today, Kadokawa themselves have confirmed Sony's intent to acquire the company, but they said that they have not made a decision as of yet. So this would probably be for PlayStation, this would be Bethesda level for them. Like, in terms of how it fits their catalog and how it would just boost their portfolio tremendously. This is Bethesda level for them, because From Software's output, no matter how much, like, honestly, Elden Ring is really the only game from Software that I really enjoyed. Like, Dark Souls was cool. I played Dark Souls. I was like, cool. Played Dark Souls 2, hated it. Played Dark Souls 3, I was like, okay, this is just more Dark Souls. Played Bloodborne, I was like, okay, this is more Dark Souls. And honestly, that's literally every time I play a From Software, I'm like, okay, this is just more Dark Souls. And Elden Ring was more Dark Souls, but it was open world, so it was cool. And Armored Core, though, that was pretty fire. I barely played it, but I just don't like mechs. But it seemed pretty cool from what I played. But Oh yeah, Sekiro. I forgot about Sekiro. Sekiro was not more Dark Souls. It was actually pretty different, and it was a really good game. But the fact that you can look at their timeline of their releases and how they're able to just output games at such a rate, because Sekiro was 2019, I believe. Then 2022, that was Elden Ring. Then the DLC 2024, which was basically an entirely new, like that was as big as a new game. Armored Core was last year, 2023. So like in 5 years, they put out 4 games, which is crazy, unheard of, especially for AAA developers. So that is the type of output that PlayStation needs. That basically gives them another Insomniac when it comes to output, except that their games are actually good. But yeah, this would be a huge purchase for PlayStation. The bagels. How are we feeling how are we feeling about the PlayStation Kadokawa, or I guess just from PlayStation From Software, if they were to be under the PlayStation banner?
Yeah, I mean it's not good because we all know what PlayStation likes to do. They like to they like to take away from others. So like if they did get FromSoft, then I mean I I wouldn't think that they would make all their games exclusive to PlayStation, but like I would still think that they would still make PC ports. I'm pretty sure Xbox probably got off the table though, but
I could see them putting it on the Switch too, but not Xbox.
yeah, same. But I don't know, dude. This doesn't make me happy personally, just because PlayStation is just they fumble just as much as the other companies do. Um, I personally don't want them to go through with this purchase, but I mean, if this is what they got left in the tank, then I mean, it makes sense why they're doing it, because they really don't have a presence in Japan anymore outside of Asobi and Polyphony, so they kind of do need that presence in Japan. But honestly, I don't know, dude, because I'm pretty sure they could have purchased FromSoft back in the Demon Souls days, but they just decided not to. So this is probably
I mean, they
like,
thought that they got fucked over on Demon Souls because it didn't turn out to be the Elder Scrolls that they wanted.
which is funny because now arguably the FromSoft games are bigger. Yeah. But I see it as them trying to right some of their wrongs. I could see the PlayStation fan base definitely being really happy about this because Bloodborne, right? But
Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne, which is funny because I think Sekiro is a much better game than Bloodborne, but
It is.
to each their own. Yeah, no, this doesn't make me happy, but I can see you making the PlayStation hardcore fan base happy for sure.
Yeah. As for how I would personally feel if this was to happen, I'm calling FTC, I'm calling CMA, I'm calling the FBI, I'm calling ISIS. We need to get this deal blocked by any means necessary. You know, Lena Khan, we need you back. Sorry, like we was talking shit about you last week. You know, that was a joke. We gonna need you like ASAP Rocky. We need you right now to make sure that this shit don't go down. CMA, hey, you know we love you. It's all love over here, cuz, you know what I mean? CMA, you know what I mean? We need y'all to do what y'all do. You know, that's a whole monopoly. But yeah, I honestly, they can have FromSoft. They can have FromSoft. That has nothing to do with me. If it's still on PC, cool. I'm okay with it. I'm gonna play it on PC. Xbox, yeah. And I'm not gonna be mad at PlayStation for doing what Xbox should be doing, which is making their games exclusive and cutting them from PlayStation. So I'm okay if they make all From Software games exclusive from now on. Now, that's because I don't care about From Software games for the most part. You know what I do care about? I care about anime. And there's one company who has been making a lot of moves in anime and have been doing nothing but bad ever since. And that is Sony. Not to do with PlayStation, but Sony themselves, they acquired Funimation. They acquired Crunchyroll, basically giving them all the distribution of anime in the West. And at first I was like, yes, this is amazing. Now I don't have to have two separate accounts. Like, I don't have to have a Funimation and a Crunchyroll to be able to get everything that I want to see. Everything is going to be on Crunchyroll now. Cool. I love consolidation. Until the consolidation came and bit me in the ass. They raised the prices more than what Funimation and Crunchyroll separately was. And you still don't have all of the shows that were on Funimation. And they also bought Right Stuff, who was an amazing... Right Stuff was an amazing merch store. And they purchased Right Stuff. And they basically merged it into the Crunchyroll store. And the Crunchyroll store is horrible compared to Right Stuff. And it's like y'all purchased them and somehow they just become worse. Like that just seems to be what happens when Sony gets their hands on these anime companies, because somehow they just don't do what they weren't doing as good a job. Like, it's supposed to be the opposite. They're supposed to be better after the acquisition because they have the funding of a giant entity like Sony. So adding Kadokawa on top of Aniplex and other publishers that they have, they're literally gonna be a monopoly in the space. And that's when I don't care about the PlayStation side, but I'm gonna call FTC, I'm gonna call CMA, I'm gonna call it FBI, I'm gonna call it LAPD. Y'all need to get these motherfuckers out of they cannot have Kadokawa. They can buy From Software from Kadokawa. Do that. I wouldn't care. Do not let Sony get Kadokawa. That would be a disaster. That would be a fucking disaster for the anime industry.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't like this at all. But it's in Kadokawa's court right now. Hopefully someone can make a surprise entry, put down another $1 on top of Sony's offer. But we gonna see how that turns out. Was there anything more you wanted to say on this subject?
I was thinking that maybe this is what Phil was talking about when he was saying like expanding into other markets. So I would hope to I'm hoping that Microsoft is also in on this potentially, even though they are a Western. Yeah.
I don't think, just because of what comes with it, just like with Sega, how Sega had the whole Sammy operations going, the pachinko machines and all that shit that they didn't want anything to do with. I don't think they would. Same with like WB, because all of the baggage that comes with that. I don't think they want to deal with it, because then they have to worry about how to separate the gaming from, because I'm pretty sure Microsoft doesn't want to be the parent of an anime light novel manga publisher. They like that would just be. I'm pretty sure a lot of people in Japan would not like that either. So I think just because of that, they wouldn't want to pick it up. I think for the most part, you're gonna see mostly Asian centric companies bidding for that.
For sure. But yeah, we'll see. I think they just recently said like they commented on it, right? Kadokawa. They
Yep.
said like they did offer us a deal or something like that. So we'll see what happens with them for sure. But yeah. Well, I'm with you though. Like the FromSoft things doesn't really affect me as much as the anime stuff because like the funny thing is I used to use Funimation and now I'm like forced to use Crunchyroll because they kind of shut down Funimation and I liked Funimation a lot more than I liked Crunchyroll, so
And
there's
then
that.
Funimation wasn't censored like Crunchyroll, which is
Yeah.
why a lot of people liked Funimation.
But we'll see.
I want to see my anime titties. But yeah, anything else you wanted to add?
Nah. The only thing that I know is that Kadokawa owns 70% of FromSoft, so they don't own FromSoft entirely, but they are like the majority owners. And I think the other like 30% is like a combination of like Tencent and like
Yeah,
Sony.
Tencent
So
for sure. Sony
so,
also has a little stake.
yeah, exactly. So well, and I'm pretty sure probably like fucking like Saudi Arabia or someone has some sort of stake in it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to see this happen, but the likelihood of it happening probably pretty high.
Yep. Let's see. Kadokawa. Let's see what they. I'm trying to see their subsidiaries. So their publications are Bookwalker, Chobunsha Publishing, Comic Walker, EB Creative, Japan Digital Library Service, Duango, K-Sense, T-Gate, Smile Edge. So yeah, they have a shit ton. I actually didn't even know they owned. I know these names, but I didn't know that they were under the Kadokawa banner. And then let me see what Sony owns as far as anime goes. So they have Aniplex, A1 Pictures, which is like Sword Art Online, Darling in the Franxx, things like that. Cloverworks, which is also a really big studio. Boundary, which is a newer one. They own 5% in Madhouse. They own 1.86% in Toei Animation, which is like Dragon Ball Z, One Piece. Joen, which is a new studio. It's a joint venture that owns Wit Studio and Shueisha as well. Wit Studio being like one of the top. They're one of my favorites actually. So yeah, and then Crunchyroll Studios when they do their originals. But they were closed actually. I forgot that happened. So yeah, they have a lot. And Kadokawa would add so much to that monopoly that they already have. So yeah. We blocking it though. Don't worry. I'm calling up everybody. We calling up the FDA. Everybody, bro. calling up the Ghostbusters. We blocking the shit out of this. It's not happening. But with that, that is it. That is all we have for you today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and to all the people in the chat leaving comments. We do appreciate your support. Make sure you guys hit that like, because we love you guys and it helps us grow this channel. If you're not subscribed and enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated. Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast will be back Thursday, 12 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Central, with another great show. Now let's go ahead and get those outros. The bagels. Another one. What you got going on for the rest of the week or until the next show? And yeah, man. Any games we looking forward to?
All right, so what we got going on? Still doing coverage, so look out for that. Fuck my professors, because they're making my life hard. So definitely fuck them. Count your days, all my professors. Honestly, I think if you're ever gonna do merch, bro, you should make a count your days tee.
Bro, for sure.
That'd be gas. But as far as what I'm looking forward to beating Zelda. I think I could get that done in the next few days. We'll see if I do, but looking forward to that. I want to jump back into Dragon Age just because I'm kind of itching for like a fantasy RPG. I'm kind of itching for it, so I do want to get back to Dragon Age, but yeah, outside of that, not much that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to playing the games that I already have on my backlog. Like I'm thinking in my little break that I have from this semester to the next, I'm gonna probably I want to grind out Metaphor. I really want to play that game. I'm gonna try to go back and beat Rebirth, just so I can get that off of my plate. Hopefully Wukong comes out on Xbox, because that's kind of where I want to buy it. So I might look into getting Wukong on Xbox. Hopefully it's a Play Anywhere title. That'd be cool. Yeah, just trying to get through my backlog, get through these games that I'm covering. I want to get to Mario and Luigi as well. So there's just so many games that I want to get to. We'll just see if I have time to get to them. But yeah, man, I'm a stalker as well. I'm gonna probably go and download that on the Xbox after we're done. But yeah, man, just gaming in general, trying to get through the semester for fucking school. It's been a grind, but yeah, that's it for my gaming stuff for sure.
That's what's up. As for myself, Don Otaku. Oh wait, where can we find you? Did you already say that?
Of course. Y'all can find me on Twitter. Subeg Dollywell. I kind of went back on my word about being media silent. Being at Camp Flogna kind of made me want to to fucking speak for some reason. And also the Clippers aren't doing that great, so it's not like my social media silence has done anything for them.
We already saw that coming though.
Yeah, but I still am trying to stay off of it as much as I can, but y'all can see me more on there. I did post some videos for Camp Flogna. If you guys want to see that, like I said, twitter.com/SubegDollywall. My YouTube channel, Twitch. I've been streaming a little bit more, so y'all can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Subegles. I streamed a lot of Windblown. I've been streaming a lot of Zelda. Streamed a little bit of Black Ops, even though that kind of fucked up my camera for some reason. But yeah, man, I'm out there. Y'all can find me on I mean, I also have Instagram as well, so the same thing, Subeg Dollywall. First and last, no gimmicks.
How
out
did
here,
he?
You know, but yeah, y'all can reach me in the streets.
All right. And as for myself, Don Otaku, you can find me on Twitter, Pasta Feet, F3ET, and then you can find me on twitch.tv/Don Solo, And I just might be doing something on Twitch.tv. I ain't gonna tell you. You know what I mean, I might got some plans for Twitch.tv. Might be trying something a little new for the Twitch. We gonna just see what we doing on that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you know, man. And then obviously you can catch me right here on YouTube, Don Otaku, Otaku. If you ain't know, I mean, you're looking at it right now. It says it. Look at it. It says Otaku. I don't need to spell it out for you. But not only are we doing Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast on Thursdays, we do Project Untitled Gaming Podcast every Saturday live. So make sure y'all tune in, leave comments, because we do read them and we interact with the chat. So make sure y'all make y'all way to that as well. We will be back. I'm cured mostly. I'm got a little hangover, but that's about it. But yeah, as for what I'm playing, still gonna be on Flight Sim and Stalker 2. I've done as much as I can in the early access for Fields of Mystria, or at least I'm at the point where I've done all I wanted to do. So I might play that a little bit more, but then I think I'm done with that, and I might go back to Dragon Age Veilguard, try to finish that up. But yeah, I always forget like what games are coming up. I think we need to add a section where we just go through the next week's games. We gonna see next time. But yeah, anything we want to leave the people with?
Sure. So if you guys are sick out there, and not the religion, if you guys are, coughing and sneezing and feeling like absolute dog shit, I will say one of the best remedies for it is ginger tea. So I'll give y'all a little inside baseball. Yeah, for sure. So the way I make it, or the way that it should be made, is get a pot of water, preferably fresh, not like fucking tap water, like spring water or distilled water or something like that. Get a piece of ginger, get a little like cheese grater, just grate it in there as much as you can. Add extra shit in there. You can add a little bit of you can add turmeric in there. You can add lemon in there. Just add little things here and there. Let it boil or let it steep for around 10 minutes. Drain it, strain it out into a cup, sip on it, and you should be good. If you do that consistently, you'll feel better sooner or later. But yeah, that's way better than any prescription medicine for sure.
So I'm from the hood, so we go get some shit from the stove. We get a little pack of the bungalow or booty doo, whatever the fuck that shit called. We get that booty doo tea, and then it got that lemon ginger. You just put the little tea bag in there, dunk it in the water for a little bit, and you get the tap water. Put that shit in the microwave. And you call it a day. I don't, you ain't gotta get all fancy with it. And you pour some honey in there, and then that shit slap. So that's the hood way.
For sure.
Ain't nobody got
either way works.
Either way. And just to make fun of my girlfriend a little, because she was also sick. She was actually a lot sicker than I was. Put in Vicks Vapor Rub on your feet. Does not do anything. I don't know who needs to hear this, but all you're doing is you're just wasting some Vicks. Put it on your feet for your chest congestion. So yeah, count your days. Whoever invented that tradition, I'm sorry if I offend your culture because of this. That your grandma's grandma used to do it, and that's how you learned it. Yeah, that shit don't work. It's scientifically proven not to work. You wasted my Vicks, woman. But yeah, with that, let's get out of here. Peace out, everybody. Hope everyone is well and healthy, unlike us right now. So enjoy your weekend, enjoy your week, enjoy life. Peace.